What could possibly go wrong? Hello world, welcome back to Accelerate and welcome to Ryan's Vauxhall Astra GSi. As you guys know, we are massive hot hatch fans and we've driven many of this generation and many of the Astra competitors, but we want to know what it's actually like to drive a Mark IV GSi in 2024. Hot hatches have been around since the 1970s, with the likes of the Mark I Golf GTI and Vauxhall Chevette HS. The term really caught on in the mid-80s and has been a dominating car class even up to the present day. The idea was simple: take a regular, arguably mundane hatchback, give it a lot more power and more aggressive styling to make it a much more exciting experience with the practicality of an ordinary hatchback. Hence the term hot hatchback. We love modified cars and that's what we've got here. Ryan's example is a heavily modified GSi, so if any of you guys have got a standard one, we would love to experience it. But back to Ryan's one, as you can see, this is in the striking ardent blue. I mean, even these days is an absolutely striking colour and I think they nailed it with the body lines and everything like that. I have always been a massive fan of the Mark IV Astra and I know Kenny has as well, because funny story, he actually bought one. I needed a run around, so I actually bought it off him. That was the 1.6 SXi. Similarities in the two. Mine was the 5-door hatch. This is obviously the 3-door. We've got the black headlights coming here, which I think still look very crisp. The SXi came with the basically standard looking bumper with a little splitter at the bottom. The GSi got a completely renewed front bumper with the much bigger intakes and what I think just sets off the whole styling of the car. Modification, the OPC opal front grille, which seems to be a very popular thing for the Vauxhall boys. It's only a matter of time before Kenny does it to his, no doubt. In the early 2000s, I think I would have approved of these. The bonnet vents, I know they're functional, but we'll leave that up to you guys to see what you decide. Coming round to the side, the iconic snowflake wheels. They are 18-inch wheels, again, an icon of the Astra GSi. We're not sure about the brakes on these. Obviously, it's got aftermarket drilled and grooved discs, but Kenny and I said they look quite big. So if anyone knows, I should state very quickly, Ryan buys and sells a lot of cars. This came across his desk. So he doesn't know the ins and outs of it, so hence why we haven't got all the details. But if any of you guys know, please let us know. One thing I love about this, as I said, I had the 5-door hatch, which is probably the most common body style. I love how these things have aged. The typical early 2000s coupe design, I think I absolutely love these days. 18s following onto the rear. Again, you've got the drilled and grooved discs on the rear, which look fantastic. And like I said, going with the shape, we've got the GSi spoiler, which is basically a raised version of the SXi. Every aspect of this has just been amplified up for the boy racers in us. Lovely GSi logo there. Because it is the Astra, one of the best-selling hatchbacks of all time, as we always say, loads of practicality. I believe 570 litres of luggage space. I will double check that. Back seats fold down, being a hatchback, they are very practical. But let's look at the interesting part.
So the Mark IV Astra GSi came with the Z20 LET turbo engine, 4-cylinder, 2-litre. This, however, we do believe has the Z20 LEH, which came in the Astra VXR, which I have. Now, this has got a couple of modifications that I want. For those of you who don't know, I do own a Vauxhall Astra VXR Racing Edition. This car might not go back today with the same parts already got.
I was going to say, no, we're not taking it home, guys.
I know, yeah. So basically we got the LEH engine. It does have the top hat delete, which goes down into the front mount intercooler. It does have an aftermarket front mount intercooler.
I now actually understand what you mean by top hat, and I hope we explain it well in the other videos as well, guys. So
yes, well, we will be fitting it, so stay tuned. This does have an aftermarket inlet manifold as well. I don't know what brand it is. It does look like the copy one, which is like the Pegasus and stuff they call it.
So you were giving me very Fast and Furious when you were looking in there. Do you know when Jesse pops in?
Yeah.
I can see if I can put a clip in.
He's got enough knife to blow himself up here. Yeah. Anyway, so we got the top hat delete. Sorry, we got the crossover delete. On these engines, you do usually have off the turbo a pipe that comes over the top and goes into the airbox. Now, what they do is delete that altogether to run an open filter. We do have also the catch can with the return pipe. Something else I really like about this, though.
Oh, go on.
Sorry, it's got the Turbo Smart actuator.
Oh yeah, as soon as we pulled up, you were...
I was like, yes, I want that. And it has the forged diverter valve. Now, apparently that is a really good combination because the Turbo Smart actuator, the open areas of the diverter valve is not as good as the forge.
Oh, okay.
This is why I think it's better to run that combination, whereas the forged actuator I don't believe is very good for these.
But that's giving people knowledge.
So I know, that's my research, as I said, with that little bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
So we do believe this is remapped to around about 310 brake horsepower. Torque, we're not sure.
Yeah, because as we said, like I said, Ryan comes and goes. He sees a lot of cars come and go, and we just couldn't. He hasn't had this long at all. So massive thanks to Ryan for letting us have it for the day once again. This will be for sale soon, guys. So yeah, if you're interested, go on.
With that package, I was going to say it might come without the turbo smart actuator.
Might be a few bits missing.
No, but I got to be honest. As we know, these 4-pots do sound absolutely amazing. I think it has got an exhaust system. Yes, it does have a turbo elbow.
Yeah, I should say it's very loud.
Yes, it is Asbo loud, isn't it? So yeah, that's it for the performance.
This is very familiar for me. Like I said, I used to have one and daily it. So although there's a lot of similarities, it is a Vauxhall Astra, so you do get your normal, boring Vauxhall stuff. But as we say with every hot hatch, they do their best to make it a bit prettier, a bit more special. One of the things I do like is the leather on the door cards makes it look a bit more classy. And of course, the first thing you notice, Kenny and I are not sure if these are a factory GSi, but it does come with leather Recaro seats that we've seen in many cars that we've featured. They're tried and tested, they do work, they're very comfortable and surprisingly supportive. And what surprised me for a Vauxhall, it's got 5-stage heated seats.
Why do you need 5?
Because as if you're going to go 3 and, a little bit more 4. There we go. I don't understand it, but hey-ho. We love modified cars, like we said. I must be getting old because although modifications are subjective, we've got the steering wheel out of the Astra H, which is obviously your generation. Yes. And we've got GSI dials that are inspired by the VXR as well. Not to my personal taste, but hey-ho, we don't judge. One thing I do love, and this is taking me back to the Max Power days thanks to you, the pillar pods, I still like. I know I probably shouldn't these days, but I do, and even the gauge in the vent as well. All the other stuff is pretty standard. Like I said, it is an Astra of the early 2000s. Got your vents, we've got an aftermarket stereo, all the AC controls and everything are pretty straightforward. Even though this doesn't have AC, it has been deleted because of race car stuff. It does have traction control as well, which surprised me. But apart from that, I'm sure many of you have seen an Astra and been in one, but I do want to have a quick look in the back. Now, usually we try to reverse these, so I've never actually been in the back of this, so. Okay. Again, it's an Astra, it's a practical hatchback. I've just noticed there's blue seatbelt in here.
Yeah.
So that's a funky upgrade. And I gotta say, for the hatch, obviously you'd have a bit more room in the 5-door. A little nerdy fact, apparently they really went to town and redid the chassis for the GSi because the normal Astra was very soft, but apparently they wanted this to be a lot more performance orientated. So random fact for you. But I gotta say, as a passenger in the back, you've got your padded bits on the side and it is pretty comfy. So do you know what? I should have done that. Legroom. I've still got, wow, I'm really surprised with this. Got the 2 lights in the back as well, the map lights. So as much as I want to sit in the back, let's jump in the front and take it for a drive, shall we? I can't wait for you to hear this thing. Isn't it? So guys, you join me out on the road in Ryan's Mark IV Astra GSi. Once again, I can't believe I get to say that, so massive thank you to Ryan. Ryan's been responsible for a lot of cool cars that we've had on the channel, and this is another one that I get to tick off my list. Another dream car I've always wanted to drive thanks to Ryan. So, the Astra, back in the early 2000s, this is kind of my era of car. I've driven a few Astra Gs and it is what you expect, and I mean that in a good way. This is a GSi, this is the performance model, but when you want it to be, as I'm driving now, it feels like an Astra, but everything just feels a bit tighter. The clutch is very light and easy to use. It is the car you can just jump in, anyone can jump in and drive this thing normal. The gear shift, although it's very familiar to my 1.6 SXi, again, just feels that little bit tighter and that little bit more performance orientated. I know they are different gearboxes. This is still the 5-speed gearbox, but you'd never know you were driving a hot hatch apart from the odd flutter. And turbo noise, because I should say, I think I downplayed just how loud, and people pulling out in front of you, just how loud and asbo this car can be. That turbo just eggs you on constantly. These seats are phenomenal. We've always said, we say it in every video, Recaro know what they're doing. They seem to put these seats in a lot of cars, and for good reason. And the heated setting now, as you guys probably know, I've got it on setting 3. It is amazing. Driving on these normal roads, it's just got very dark, and it looks like it's about to tip down, which is going to be interesting in a 310 brake horsepower front wheel drive car. 310 horsepower. Now, I know these days, thanks to YouTube, a lot of people say if it's not 1,000 horsepower, people are not interested. My SXi of this was, I believe the quote to be 101 horsepower, and it was not fast by any means, but I thought doubling the power of that would have been mega fun in this chassis. But then what we're in here now is over triple that power. And full disclosure, I've driven this before, well, I drove it on the way down, and it definitely feels like 300 horsepower. 310 brake horsepower through what I believe are budget tyres. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Jesus. This definitely uses all 310 of those horsepowers. I've left the window open. As I was rolling through the gears on my first real pull in the GSi, as I went to go from 3rd to 4th, I initially thought I simply missed 4th gear, hence why I kept talking. I then quickly realised it would not go into 4th at all. Then I realised it was actually stuck in 3rd. Well, this is awkward. I've just lost. I believe the linkage is gone. I'm stuck in 3rd. So to answer my question, what could possibly go wrong? A lot. This is not good.
Oh no!
I think
she broke it.
We've lost the gearbox. Well, it's stuck. I think it's stuck in 3rd.
So say you've lost it. Well, we'll go back and get it. No way, is it?
It won't move.
No.
I didn't even get to drive it properly.
I didn't even get to drive it at all.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't break it just so I can drive it.
Right, so
linkages are under the battery somewhere. Yeah, they're all there.
I can see the cable. It looks like it's still attached. Right, so in case you didn't see from the video, guys, I was going up through the gears, went from 3rd into 4th, and it just didn't want to go into 4th. As you could hear, that's why the engine revved. I've left the window open.
These things do happen with cars, don't they?
Yeah, fortunately it doesn't happen a lot to us.
Nope.
We're going to have a quick look now to see... It's like, see the shift cables, but it's whether they're attached or not.
The only way to really check is to get the battery out of the way.
Ah, man! A new hoodie.
Yeah. Oof, well, like I said, these things do happen, unfortunately, and I'm big at it because I want to obviously have a go. But
yeah, and I was taking in my time through the gears. I was going for it, but I wasn't smashing through the gears.
We never do, do we?
No.
Yeah, well, so, you know, we just never do. We always treat them with respect, but these things do happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, oh well, I'll have to see if we can get it back.
Yeah, right. I'll be giving you a call now. I immediately contacted Ryan to give him the bad news, and his concern was whether we'd filmed what we needed to or not. Yep, that's the kind of guy Ryan is. He understands that this is what happens, particularly with modified cars, and the fact that he has not even had a chance to look over the car properly himself. We are in the process of getting the car back to Ryan and getting it fixed, so it should hopefully be back on the channel soon. A massive thanks to Ryan once again for everything, and a big thanks to you guys and girls for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We will see you in the next one.